in Sydney right now. So what do you think I did? Made a bikini and matching bottoms. I used the funnest yarn and I really lucked out with it because every single time a color change happened, I was already onto like a new piece or a new panel. I'm gonna show you how to make this for your body type so that you can look cute in your handmade crochet bikini by the poolside, at the beach. Go ahead and comment below what color you make your bikini in and let's get started. Okay, so once you find out how long you need your chain, we're like 2 seconds into the video and I already forgot to record the most important part. You're going to make a starting chain. This starting chain has to go from the side of your boob to like just past your nipple. So from here to the inside, to, you know, here. From here to your nipple. Isn't it, Chucky? Let's continue. We will go from here. So for me, I know that I needed 20 chains for that measurement. And then I'm going to come back here and do another chain of 2 because we're going to skip those 2 that we just did and go back into that 20th or, you know, that last chain that you had. And we're going to do double crochets into every stitch. So go ahead and put a double crochet into every stitch and I will meet you here at this corner where I will show you what to do. Okay, I am here at this last chain and in this chain you're going to put 3 double crochets into that one loop. Once you've done that 3rd double crochet, get your stitch marker and place it here. Then you're going to work another 2 double crochets into that same stitch so that you have a total of 5 and this stitch marker is in the middle one or the 3rd one. From here, I'm going to hide my tail end at the same time, but you're going to work double crochets all the way across until you reach the very end. And when you get to the end here, make sure you're also going into this final stitch, which is that chain up. But I do recommend, you know, you can count both sides to make sure you've got an even number of stitches as well. From here, you're going to chain up 2. Turn your work and we're doing back loop double crochets. So into this next stitch here, you can see this V. I'm going into the back loop only and I'm placing a double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way until we reach our stitch marker, which I will show you what to do there. But back loop, double crochets only, all the way across. Once you've made it back to your stitch marker, go ahead and remove it. And in the back loop of that stitch, go ahead and place 2 double crochets. In that second double crochet, replace your stitch marker and place 1 more double crochet into that same loop. And then go ahead and continue with back loop double crochets all the way to the very end. Okay, and once you get to the end of your row, again, don't forget to get into the back loop of this last stitch. It's good to get into the habit of looking back at this line and making sure that it's still straight because it can be easy to miss and then it ends up curving inward. But this is the pattern that you're going to follow. From here again, you're going to chain up 2, turn your work and back loop double crochets in every single stitch until you get to your stitch marker. You're going to do 2 double crochets, replace your stitch marker and then add a 3rd double crochet into that same back loop stitch and then continue all the way with single double crochets to the end. And you're going to do this until your bikini cups are large enough. So I'll show you the size that you're aiming for your body type. But go ahead and make this one up and I will meet you there. All right, so when you've made your cup and you think it's big enough, you just want to kind of take it again from like the edge, the side of your bust, and then bring it around and just see if that's enough coverage for you. I like mine skimpy. And I know I'm gonna add some more rows on the bottom and I'm gonna have a thicker strap. And I'm wearing like a somewhat padded bra right now, so I know that when that's gone it won't be so bad and this is gonna be enough for me. But just take it against yourself, make sure it's good, and then let's keep going on this one. All right, so once you get to the end of your row and you're happy with the size of your cup, you can either tie off here or keep going like I am. So I'm going to chain up 2, and then I'm going to start doing double crochets all the way across. And like most of the things that we make, there's no actual loops for you to go through. So you just have to look back and make sure that you have enough and there's no large spaces where you think you could fit another double crochet. But we're just adding a row along here just so that this edge piece isn't so raw. So go ahead and do that and I will meet you back. And once you're done with your row of double crochets on the raw edge, this is what it looks like. Now, depending on what cup you're working on, you could keep going and do this strap without having to tie off. But because for me, this cup is actually on this side and this one is going on this side, like this. So I'm going, because it's at the bottom, I'm gonna have to tie off and then come back to the top, because if I were to just flip it, this inside piece is now different to the other side, and I don't want that. So depending on what cup you're working on, you can keep going without having to tie off and detach. But for me, I'm gonna have to tie this one off, which I will do that with a chain up of 1, cut my yarn, and pull through. And then I will go back to this top piece with a slip knot, and I'm going to show you what we do here. So you can go ahead and insert your hook, and we're going to put 4 double crochets. So once you've attached your yarn, go ahead and chain up 2 and put 4 double crochets here. And it should look like this. Once you've done your 4 double crochets, go ahead and chain up 2, turn your work, chain 2 again, and we're double crocheting into this last stitch here, or this chain up that you made, so that you've created this space. Chain up 2, and we're working a full row of double crochets. So 2 double crochets in this large space, and then a double crochet. And I know that we can sometimes like just go back into that space, but for this one, do try to get into that chain. I know that it can be difficult, but just try to get into that chain so that it looks like this. And then again, we're chaining 2, turning our work, chain another 2, and a double crochet into this last stitch here so that we create a large space. Chain 2, turn your work, 4 double crochets all up, but three extra ones, making sure again that this last double crochet does go into that chain. All right, so you're just going to continue this until your strap is long enough, and I will show you where on your body you want this to go to. All right, I just did my strap. This is what it looks like. So then you want to make this strap long enough until when you place your cup where it's going to sit, it's going to just go to your shoulder, or the top of your shoulder, because then we're going to add like a braided drawstring and try to finish on a space stitch so that it's easier to add that drawstring in later. But this is what you have. I have made 2 of these, and then we'll go ahead and add in the bottom now. All right, so go ahead and lay out your bikini, the sides that you want showing facing up. So this part is touching skin, and this is what's going to show. And then we're going to work a row of single crochets all the way along. But I am going to just attach maybe from where the middle is. These are where this hole is, where you've got your last 3 double crochets. I'm going to put it in that first one after those 3, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side so that I know that that's where I need to connect. And then I'm going to turn my work so that I can do a row of single crochets all the way across, just to attach everything together. So slip knot, I'm gonna go over these yarn pieces at the same time as well, but attach your yarn and single crochets all the way across. And we're very familiar with it, but we have to create our own until you get to your double crochets here, and then you can go into the loops with your single crochets. But go ahead and work single crochets all the way across, but I'll meet you here at your stitch marker so that you know what to do. All right, I'm at my stitch marker. I've had a color change, which I think is super fun. This yarn is just so cool. But you're going into that space with a stitch marker with a single crochet. And then make sure that your straps are still facing the same way. You don't want it to be like this. But you're going to go and find that same stitch on the other side, which is this one here, and place in a single crochet. You can remove your stitch marker. You don't need that one anymore, and go ahead and continue single crochets all the way across until you reach the end, and then we're going to work our next pattern. Okay, so you should have done your row of single crochets all the way across, and it's attached at the bottom there. At this point, do take it against yourself and just make sure it is how you want it. We are going to connect these 2 points together, but just again, place it against yourself. Make sure that you're happy with the coverage that it has. I know that this looks super tiny, but I promise I have 0 boobs. But take it against yourself and make sure you're happy with it. We're still adding like a fair few rows on the bottom, so don't stress. And then let's go ahead with the next row. Okay, so here we are, row of single crochets, and you're happy with it. From here, we chain up 2, turn your work, chain 1 more, and then work a double crochet not into that first stitch but the second. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the second. So this is a row of space stitches here. Chain 1, skip 1, go into the second, and you're going to do this all the way across until you reach the very end. After your row of space stitches, this is what it should look like. Now go ahead and chain up 2, turn your work, and we'll be working double crochets all the way across. So when you get to your like post of your last stitch, go into that V. But when you get to like a bigger one of these big spaces, you can just go straight in if you want to. But double crochets all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. All right, so once you get to the middle, you can see that the cups are coming this way, but we want our cups to be like this. So if you made my like Aztec crop, we kind of made a little keyhole piece here. We're going to do the same thing. So once you do a double crochet into this post here, or like, you know, the two just before your middle piece, if yours is different. Go ahead and just chain one, and then we're going to double crochet into the post of the other. So here I would usually put a double crochet here, a double crochet here, and a double crochet here. I've chained one and I'm skipping 3 stitches, and I'm going into this next one here with a double crochet. And then if you look at that, what that has done is brought it in so that it's nice and straight now. And then the next row that we run, these pieces will be straight and the bottom should be nice and straight. And then just go ahead and continue your double crochets all the way across until you reach the end. Alrighty, after your row of double crochets, this is what it looks like. At this point, you can put this against yourself and see if you're happy with how it looks. For me, I've done that. I want to add another row of these space stitches. So I'm going to chain up to turn my work, chain one more, and skip this first one and go into the second with a double crochet, chain one, skip one, and into the second with a double crochet. And I'm just going to do this all the way across until I get to the end. Look at this guy. He's so precious. Once you have finished your row of space stitches, again, this is what it should look like. I have placed this against myself. I'm happy with how it is. If you wanted more length, like you could keep going. This would even just be like a really cute crop top if you just kept going with that. But for me, I'm happy. So I'm going to chain one, cut my yarn, and pull through and pull tight. Cool. Now I am going to show you what we're going to do on the top. We're just going to kind of connect these pieces together with another keyhole piece, and then we can work on the straps together. This has been such a quick bikini. I really think you could make this in a day on the drive to the beach, depending on how far you live. All right, so again, I've got the outside of my bikini facing up, where the inside, the bit that's touching skin, is facing that way. And I just wanted to add a little piece here just to connect these together. So slip knot, and attach your yarn here just next to your strap. This one I need to add more. I wanted it to all be the same color, and you know, I've got this color changing yarn. I know that kind of defeats the purpose of it, but that's just, it's what I wanted, you guys. But from here, single crochets, and I wanted to bring a keyhole piece here. So again, grab a stitch marker, and with this stitch marker, hold your bikini so that you've got your edges straight. And I just want my keyhole piece here. So here is where my 3 double crochets were in the one spot. Again, I'm going to do the same thing that I did at the bottom here. I'm going to go the one just above that last one in the with the 3. Here's the 3 double crochets, and I'm going into the next one. That's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to find the same one here. So here's the 3 double crochets, and this would be the next one. And this is where I'm creating a connection point to have a little keyhole piece here. So single crochets all the way across. When you get to the end, don't forget to do just one more single crochet just before that strap starts. Chain up of 1, cut your yarn and pull through, pull tight. All right, this is what we've got. So now we're going to make some braided straps for the side and for the top. So what you're going to need to do for that is grab your yarn and grab like decent amounts. I might actually show you what I do. Okay, this is what I have. Super cute, right? So for my braided straps, I don't need them to be super long. So I'm just going to grab them like this, maybe like an arm's length, because it's gonna go in half. So that's 2, 4, and 6, and this is what I have. So then I cut these loops here. I go to the other end and I cut those loops there too, and then I'm going to show you how we attach it. But if you've made my, what did I do? Maybe in my halter neck, my green halter neck tutorial, we did the same thing there. But let's come back and I'll show you. So you flipped your bikini, the part that is against your skin is now facing you. You have your 6 pieces of yarn. Go ahead and grab 2 pieces of yarn each, and you're going to create a slip knot. And you're going to insert these slip knots into separate stages of your work. So this first one I'm just going to put here with the large space stitch. I'm going to go ahead and attach it here. I'm going to wrap my yarn. Once that's secure, I'm going to pull through like you would a chain up, but then pull it all the way through so that your yarn comes all the way, and here it is attached here. We're going to put another lot of 2 here and another lot of 2 here. All right, and then once you've got your yarns all attached here, you can even braid the tail ends in. So just go ahead and separate them into bunches, into thirds, and then I'm going to use my crystal as a bit of a weight here. But then we're just going to go ahead and braid. All right, and once you finish your braid, you can go ahead and just create a knot. And once that's knotted, you just want to separate all of these pieces so that it becomes a bit of a tassel. This is what you should have, a nice little tassel at the end. Let's go ahead and do this strap. For this strap, because it's not so wide, I'm just going to go ahead and create a large slip knot with my 6 pieces of yarn, and I've also made these yarn pieces a little bit shorter because they didn't need to be quite as long, because this already goes to the top of our shoulder. But this is why I said to end on a large space if you can, so that you can bring all of these yarn pieces through. I've missed one. Bring all of your yarn pieces through and you can connect it this way. So all of those yarn pieces are through. I'm going to go ahead and braid this, and then I'm here at the end again. You're just going to create a knot, pull through, cut these yarns the same length, and then separate the threads again. So then now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I went ahead and braided in both of my waist ties and then the neck ties. I sewed in my ends, and this is the completed bikini top. So now let's go ahead and make matching bottoms. Okay, for your bottoms, you're going to start with a row of double crochets. And the best way that I can actually explain this one is find a pair of bikini bottoms. Can you tell that I like blue and white? But find a pair of bikini bottoms that you like the shape and the cut of, and kind of just copy it. So for me, I've tried this bit here with my double crochets, and then I'm going to work double crochet decreases all the way down. So first I'm going to mark where I want to stop. So it is about, like, if it's here and I want to start maybe, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put a stitch marker in this 10th one here, and then on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and this is what we're going to do. So go ahead and get your yarn once more, slip knot, and we're placing it into that stitch marker here. Chain up 2, and then we're working double crochets all the way across until we get here to our other stitch marker. I've made it to my other stitch marker where I will put another double crochet, and then from here we're going to work a decrease. So here is the bikini, and you can see that it's like cutting in. So to do a decrease, go ahead and chain 2, turn your work, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through those last 3, so that now these 2 stitches are going to become 1. Go ahead and make double crochets all the way until the very end, where we will do another decrease, and we'll do that together. Okay, and this is what that row looks like. I'm 2 stitches away from the end here, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into that last loop, pull through 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And so you've worked your decrease here and here. From here again, we chain up 2, turn your work, and we work another decrease. So yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 3, and you've worked another decrease. And go ahead and do double crochets into every single loop until you come back to the end here, and I will meet you back to do another decrease. Okay, here's that row of double crochets. I'm 2 stitches away from the end here, so again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into that next or that last stitch, pull through 2, pull through all 3. And you're going to keep doing decreases on each end, making sure that you're still using your existing bikini, or just placing it against yourself to make sure that the decreases are going as much as you need to. If you need to put more decreases in, you can put more decreases in, but just make sure you stitch marker them so that you know that you need to put another decrease there. And then also remember that when you get to about here, it's going to be no decreases and you're just going to work double crochets. So I'll come back when I'm about here and we can start this together. Okay, so here is my rows of decreases. I don't want to decrease any more than this because I don't want it to keep getting smaller and smaller. So I'm going to just do rows of double crochets until maybe I copy this length here, and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm about at the end of this one. I just wanted to show a row together so that I can share a few tips. So once you're at the point where you don't want to decrease anymore and you want to keep it the same size, I do recommend counting these stitches. So for me, it was 10. I needed to make sure I did 10 each time because, and I will show you at the end, nearing the end here. So because when you get to the end here, this chain up can sometimes be really hard to get into. So you want to make sure that you're getting it. See, because you could easily just mistake it and be like, oh, that was the last one. I only have 9 here. So I actually have to really find this last chain and go into it with that final crochet. Otherwise it would keep decreasing. I'm finished here, so I'm going to go ahead and chain up 1, cut my yarn, pull through and pull through tight. And I have finished this front piece here. Now the next one that we're working on is this back piece, and I'm going to do it in the same way. I'm going to make a chain that is long enough. I'm going to do a full row of double crochets, and then I'm going to work decreases probably the whole way along. Depending on how it goes, I might even just be doing one decrease. I'll start it off though and I'll let you know. Alright, so I've done my first row of double crochets, and I think if I just continue decreases on each side, it'll work out really good. So I'm going to do a chain up of 2. We'll do the first one together. Turn your work, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through 2, yarn over into that next stitch, pull through 2, and pull through 3. Then double crochets all the way to the end, where you will do another decrease in the final 2 stitches, and you're going to do this the whole time until you have enough fabric or enough for the entire back piece of your bikini. But it's the same thing that you did with the front. You're probably just going to be continuing these decreases the whole time though, but of course stop. So whatever you stopped for here, so for me it was 10, I'm going to stop regardless as soon as I get to 10 on this side, whichever comes first. Whether I make it to the end or if I make it to 10 stitches, whichever comes first, I'll stop there. But I will meet you back when I have my 2 pieces and then we can put them together. Alright, I have finished my bottoms, and like I said, I was just going to do rows of 10, whichever came first. I have been so lucky with this yarn because look, it's about to go through a color change and go into like this. Oh look, I've got a knot now, but it's about to go into this color change and be this blue color, which is cool because I'll make the drawstrings this color, and then I will have all 3. It'll have the front piece light blue and this one is dark blue. But just for reference, here are my bottoms again. I'll put these ones on top and it's going to this seam here. So there are my bottoms. Here is my front, and we're going to attach them together. So I haven't removed my yarn, it's still attached there. And this is the inside, this is the piece that is against skin, which is great because then I will find it'll be this way for this one as well. So what we do now is bring these 2 pieces together. And from this stitch, I'm going straight into the next one on the opposite color or on the front. And I'm going to single crochet them together. I'm going to this next stitch of the dark blue and the next stitch of the light blue. And I'm going to single crochet them together. And I'm going to do this all the way along to connect the bottoms together. Okay, and I've connected my bottoms together here. I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, pull through and pull tight. And this is what that looks like. So now we have cute bottoms like this. Okay, drawstring time. So let me change angles and we'll do it together. For my drawstring, I'm going to create another braided drawstring like we did for the top, but we want our drawstring to be able to go to tie on the sides. We want it to be able to tie on the sides and go across and then tie on this side. And we're going to braid it the same way, look at my knot. We're going to braid it the same way that we did the neck and waist straps. So we'll come back. Okay, so because we're not attaching our yarn like to anything, we can just start by creating a knot. And bringing all of those yarn pieces through and connecting them this way. And here is one of our little tassels, and we can separate those. I'm going to use my crystal again. But same thing like we did for the other drawstrings, you're going to separate into lots of 2. And you're just going to do a simple braid all the way to the very end. Alright, I have my braided drawstring here, and then I have my bikini bottom. So what we want to do with this, what do I want? Do I want dark blue? I'll do dark blue on this side. Yeah, let's put the dark blue on this side. Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. Kind of find the middle of your bikini, which is about here, and then put your hook through and bring that entire braid all the way through. Like that. I only want it to go behind this one loop, so I'm going to bring the braid all the way back through again. I'm probably going to skip maybe 5 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring it back in here. And then again, I only want it to be behind that one loop, so I'm going to bring it back through. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's looking like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there is 1/2 of the front of our bikini all braided through. I'm going to finish it on the other side. I'm going to do it on this side as well, and then I'm also going to make one more of these braids, and I'm going to do the same thing along the back. Okay, I have brought my drawstring through both sides, and now that's all that's left to do is to sew in my end pieces, and then I will show you the finished set. Okay, you guys, here is the finished bikini. I've sewn in all of my ends, and I'm really excited to try this one on. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, actually, I don't think I'm gonna try this on because I don't know the YouTube rules and I don't want to get flagged, but maybe I'll put a photo on my Instagram, which is Emma Jane Warrender. But go ahead and make this, tag me, and let me know in the comments below if you like these kinds of videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.